I want to thank Chairman Smith and the Environment Subcommittee, Chair Biggs, for their hard work on this important piece of legislation. I also thank my good friend, Representative Peterson, for yet again helping, I should say, to make this bill a bipartisan effort. I appreciate his willingness to sponsor this bill with me. I had the opportunity to speak in favor of this legislation when it passed this House with bipartisan support in the 114th Congress. Now I come to the floor yet again to urge my colleagues to vote in favor of this important reform. The SAB Reform Act was a good bill then, and it's a good bill now. This is a policy that is built on the values we should uphold regardless of which side of the political aisle we are on or who happens to be the president. H.R. 1431, the Science Advisory Board Reform Act, ensures the best experts are free to undertake a balanced and open review of regulatory science. The board was established to provide scientific advice to the EPA and Congress to review the quality and relevance of science EPA uses for regulations. But in recent years, shortcomings with the process have arisen. Opportunities for public participation have been limited, potential conflicts of interest have gone unchecked, and the ability of the board to speak independently has been curtailed. If the administration undermines the board's independence or prevents it from providing advice to Congress, the valuable advice these experts can provide is wasted. Despite the existing requirement that EPA's advisory panels be fairly balanced in terms of point of view represented, the Science Committee has identified a number of past problems that have undermined the panel's credibility and work product. And these include a number of advisory members who've received money from the EPA. At the very least, this could create the appearance of a conflict of interest. Some of the panelists have taken public and even political positions on issues they're advising about. For example, a lead reviewer of the EPA's hydraulic fracking study published an anti-fracking article called "Regulate, Baby, Regulate." Now, this clearly is not an objective viewpoint and should be publicly disclosed. Public participation is limited during most board meetings. Interested parties have almost no ability to comment on the scope of the work, and meeting records are often incomplete and hard to obtain. This bill is both pro-science and pro-sound science. This bill is founded upon recommendations for reform outlined by the National Academy of Sciences and EPA's peer review handbook. This bill ensures that the board is balanced, transparent, and independent, all of which will help prevent the SAB from being manipulated by any group. H.R. 1431 makes sound science the driving force of the board, no matter who is the chief executive officer of our government. Perhaps most importantly, this bill seeks to increase public participation that benefits all stakeholders. Currently, valuable opportunities for diverse perspectives are limited. The federal government does not have a monopoly on the truth. Ask your constituents back home. They know that. The public has important expertise that can't afford to be ignored in a democracy. State, local, tribal, private sectors have a long history of qualified scientific experts. Their contributions should be taken seriously. Now, unfortunately, the history of the SAB shows that private sector representation is often lacking or simply non-existent. Instead, in the past, EPA has picked the board, ignoring the knowledge, experience, and contributions of those experts. This bill ensures that qualified experts are not excluded simply due to their affiliation. This will add value and credibility to the future board reviews. Mr. Peterson and I recognize the important role science should play in our policy debates and provide safeguards to give the public confidence in science. It restores the independent Science Advisory Board as a defender of scientific integrity. I urge my colleagues to support this bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.